on today just for a moment. And I should say YouTube family, I think I'm on YouTube as well. You know, the Lord put something on my heart last Saturday. I shared it with our ELC leadership, and what blessed me was that within 4 days, I promise you, within 4 days, God brought that same word back to me. And so as a prophet of God, I believe that when we reach into the spirit realm and we're able to pull a word out, or we're able to translate what God is saying and offer it to God's people, there usually will be a confirmation by someone else who has done exactly the same thing. And so for those of you who seek God's face and who pray and ask God to speak to you, you know, oftentimes there will be someone to come and bring that word of confirmation for you. And so I just want to say, I got to share this because when I would say my old friend Pastor Welton Smith of Detroit, Michigan, when he gave that word on Wednesday, and the strange thing is I wasn't even planning on getting back online, but I got back online, saw he was on live, and God had it to be so that he gave the same word almost exactly the way God gave it to me on Wednesday night, from which I had given on the Saturday prior. So what I shared with the leaders of ELC is that oftentimes, you know, we like to plan, we like to put things on our calendars. We have all of these wonderful, fabulous schedules, and, you know, we have these things that we want to do, and we have these things that we put on our calendar. We make sure it's in pen and it's not in pencil, because we want to make sure that we give a note to ourselves that this is something that will happen in our lives. This is something that we are surely going to do. This is something that will happen. And so many of us did that, had planned in 2019 a lot of things for 2020. 2020 was going to be a wonderful year. We were going to do all these things. We were going to travel and make all of these connections and just live life. But God said no. Anybody know the word reminds us that God's ways are not our ways, and God's thoughts are above our thoughts. And so therefore, all those things we had planned, God brought to a halt. And many of us found ourselves upset. We found ourselves not happy. And some even found themselves angry. So I want to say some saints were even angry about the fact that they could not do those things that they had scheduled, they had planned, they had pinned on their calendars to do. But God, in God's wisdom, said, no, I have another plan, and I'm shutting all of that down. And so we found ourselves in a place where we were in a place of rest, where we were in a place of quietness, where we were in a place of seeking God's face, where we were in a place where we could not do anything. And so in that place, God was giving us time to rest. Thank you. Yes, Pastor Welton told us the other day that God was giving us time to rest in that place. And so I believe we're resting up for something. We're preparing for something. And I just know that sometimes God has to take us on the backside of the mountain to get us ready for the next great thing that is going to occur. So somebody needs to stay on the backside of the mountain. Somebody needs to make up in their mind, I'm going to rest until God brings me forward. Somebody needs to know that there is something in 2021 that's going to demand more from you. There's something in 2021 that's going to demand all of you. And there's something in 2021 that's going to be bigger than you ever dreamed or imagined. And God needs you to be ready. So don't stop the rest. Don't deny the rest. Don't deny your downtime. Somebody needs to understand that God is working in the midst of this pandemic. And some of you who have watched me this entire season know that I've always said God is going to do something great. Even in the midst of the pandemic, God is going to bless in a mighty, marvelous way, even in the midst of the pandemic. So I need somebody to understand today that we've got to stay the course and trust God. Stay the course and trust God. So anybody who was upset about your calendar, anybody who had a problem because your schedule was torn apart and it did not go the way you had planned, I need you to know that God is doing something marvelous in this season, and God is preparing you and readying you for something great in 2021 that's going to require even more of you. So rest in this time, rest in this season, and seek God and know that there is something greater coming. Anybody get excited about that? There's something greater on the way. Can anybody shout about that? That there's something awesome that is going to come that you didn't even expect, that wasn't even on your schedule, wasn't even on your calendar, but God had it on his. And so I just thank God today that in God's wisdom, God is letting us prepare ourselves and ready ourselves for what is yet to come. So know that this is a time of rest. And in that rest, you are preparing for the next thing that is to come. Somebody get ready, get ready, get ready for what God is about to do. God bless you in your time of rest. And as you are in expectation in the season of Advent of the coming King, I just say, continue to pray and seek God's face and stay on the backside of the mountain, knowing that God's got something great coming up in your life. God bless you. God keep you. Happy holidays to each and every one of you.